Hey everybody, it's Kevin with Mallard Painting. Today I'm going to talk about what is tannic acid and why does it suck? Okay, so tannic acid is an oil that derives in wood and it's more apparent in some wood than others. Right here is a cabinet that we've primed. This is a cherry door that was previously lacquered. We removed it and took it home with us to make some samples with and try out different products on it. And so the common struggle of painters is that water-based primer, no one wants to use oil or shellac or lacquer undercoater in someone's house because you're going to ruin their indoor air quality. So, we've all been trying to look for the magic primer, the water-based primer that blocks tannins, and there are a few that do a decent job, but haven't found the one that's 100%er yet. So what is tannic acid? Well, so tannic acid is this yellowy oil, and a lot of times you'll see it in, like, on cedar fences. You see like the sprinkler hitting a brand new fence and you see that orangish oil rise to the surface. Well, that's exactly what's happening. Water actually activates the tannic acid to the surface. So what's happening here? So this door has been cleaned really well with Crud Cutter. We've sprayed this with a water-based primer. And see, we're testing out water-based primers to see if they work or they don't work. And so what's happening is the water-based primer goes onto the surface of the wood. It soaks into the wood, and the water actually draws the tannins to the surface. Water activates tannins. So when you're using a water-based paint, it's actually causing the tannins to bleed to the surface, and you're seeing that yellowing effect right there. So why does shellac work? Why does oil-based work? Well, oil and shellac goes onto the surface. It does wet the surface, but any tannins would bleed into the primer, dry, and lock, and now you have an oil or shellac-based barrier where moisture would not leak into. So then when you put your water-based paint on top of that, you're not going to get any bleed into the next coat. The only exception to the rule would be, like, let's say oak. Say you sprayed primer on your oak cabinets. Oak has a really deep grain. Say you didn't back brush or back roll it down into that grain. Well, so you sprayed it right on the surface, but you didn't get it in the grain. So say your next coat, you decide to back roll or back brush your water-based enamel on there. That water leaks into the little grains. Well, so has anyone ever had tannins leak out in little lines into the grains? Well, that's because you didn't have a nice barrier, complete barrier to block any water from getting through. There's a lot of tannins loaded into that grain. So your primer goes on the surface, you don't back roll it, you back roll your water-based coating and you push it down into that grain on your second coat, drawing tannins through those little grain openings. So any water-based primers that do work, they're going to require you to do 2 coats. It's going to be a very fast drying water-based primer. They're going to require you to do 2 coats, and they're going to require you to wait 24 hours before you recoat these coatings. And the theory to that is they dry on the surface quickly. They don't let the primer penetrate into the wood long enough for it to draw out the tannins. And then, having let it sit and cured overnight, 24 hours, you're creating that watertight surface where when you put your water-based coating on top of that, it's not going to be able to leak through that primer. Hopefully you learned something today, and hopefully you'll click the subscribe button. Looking for subscribers today, and like the video, comment. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer it for you. Have a great day.